I always have to give it a minute for it to actually go live on these channels. So if on one of the channels you see me just sitting and staring at the camera for the first couple seconds, that's why. I'm Jen Lederer. I'm a communication strategist, and I'm just here talking about communications and specifically today exploring the juxtaposition of what it means to be a creative, an artist, and a business minded person in the era of AI, because this shit is not black and white. It's messy, it's layered, it's complicated, it's unregulated, it's problematic, it's exciting, it has potential for good and for bad. I have always enjoyed challenging myself to stay up on the latest technology, to find the ways that it magnifies and amplifies my creativity, my zone of genius. And in some ways, I absolutely feel like I have found certain AI platforms and certain ways to interact with them that does that without copyright infringement and without throwing original thought to the wind. That being said, I saw two things today that made me just go, ugh. And when I'm not doing consulting and keynote speaking, I am a stand-up comedian. And I've been an artist my whole life. My background is in dance. That's what I have my degree in. That's why I moved to New York. And I've been in the entertainment industry in one way or another my whole adult life. And I saw one of the comedians that I know share today how AI is stealing his jokes. And of course he's not getting paid for it. Of course. He's like, if I was getting a check, you wouldn't even hear from me. Okay. So that's why I'm talking about regulations around this shit. They are stealing his jokes verbatim, creating AI videos that are performing his jokes for these platforms that are teaching people English. He's like, first of all, the avatars aren't even doing the correct comedic timing. So like, can we at least honor the craft in that way? If you're going to steal my shit, use it to make money, obviously not give any credit alone, God forbid, plus a payment. What are we doing? What are we doing to the creative minds that fuel innovation, helping a company stay relevant, helping them come up with content that keeps their viewers engaged, that make their viewers want to watch their content to learn whatever it is they're doing? So there's that. There's that piece that I saw today. And then in Texas, they have all of these warnings about how they want people to take shorter showers and be aware of their water usage, while the servers that are used to run AI are using millions and billions of gallons of water all the time. And I am cursed with morality, I guess. This is part of why I'm good at comedy and enjoy doing comedy, because you have to be willing to look at all sides of a premise in order to find the funniest angle. That's just how my brain works. That's how I look at things. That's why I'm really effective with my clients, because they come to me with one narrative and I help them find a million other narratives that are more creative and more aligned with who they are and speak to their audience and drive engagement and all of that stuff. I help corporations learn how miscommunication costs them money. I've also learned to speak in that language so that they give a shit. I don't have any answers, but these are the questions that I have as I see AI continuing to ramp up, as I see the, lack of creativity, lack of original thought. And I am watching the artists that I respect and that I love be robbed, while simultaneously not having as much opportunity to work as writers, as performers, because of all of this. I wish I had the answer. I think one of the answers is regulations. My lawyer's out here. How are we feeling about copyright infringement? How are you all, looking at the wider implications of all of this? And I don't think the answer is all or nothing. I very rarely think the answer is all or nothing. But I do think we should be asking more questions other than, how can this optimize productivity for my business? Other than feeding the insatiable beast that is capitalism, what other ways are we asking questions about this technology? I will leave you with a quote that I heard Sam Altman share in an interview the other day, when he was asked, if you had to give advice to the 20-year-olds who are out here trying to figure out, where do they put their energy? Where do they put their focus? Where do they put their time? What should they be learning? What skill sets are going to matter? This is what he said. I believe that skills like resilience, adaptability, creativity, figuring out what other people want, those are the kinds of skills that I think will pay off a lot. Nothing to do with coding, nothing to do with knowing how to optimize AI, build out agents, automate, nothing. He was talking about being a human. So where do we find space for that within this conversation? That's my question. Any thoughts, any perspectives? I'd love to hear it. Leave it in the comments. I will be back next week, same time, same channel, 12 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on LinkedIn and YouTube.